Becoming You show with me, your host, Leah Rowling. Do you believe you are capable of choosing your future? Sometimes it takes just one person to believe in you, for you to believe in yourself. If you find yourself continuing to say, someday I will take better care of myself, only to continue living the same day over and over and over again, then you, my friend, are in the right place. I am your biggest cheerleader, inspiring you to become you on purpose and with intention. Are you ready to create a life you love? I'm excited to share with you some big ideas that you can use today to inspire, impact, and influence your life and everyone in it. The Becoming You show starts now. Hello, my friends. How are you? Welcome to a new month. You know, I always geek out on a new month. Welcome. And it's the last month of the year. So I want to just ask a few questions as we get started into this podcast. First, thank you. Thank you for listening. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for just being part of this community. I always feel like I am talking to you, and you know who you are if you're listening. But right now it's just me and my producer, and I'm kind of talking into this screen, and I feel you, and I see you, and I appreciate you. So I hope you can feel that. And when I ask you how you're feeling, I really want you to check in with yourself. I want you to ask and consider if you've taken some time really to reflect on this past year, the lessons that you've learned, your biggest wins, the decisions that you have made, the people that have made the biggest impact on your life, your fears, your failures, where you forgave, where you still need to, what you're no longer going to tolerate in the next coming year, what you're going to start doing, what you're going to let go of, what you're going to let in. I love taking time to reflect on the last year with these types of questions. I also love asking myself questions about what the next year looks like. So what does yours look like? What would it look like to have the best year ever? What would be the biggest triumph for you next year if you were able to be successful at it? What advice would you give yourself for next year? What efforts are you going to make to improve your financial situations, your health, your energy? What efforts are you going to put forward to your relationships? What are you going to learn? What are you going to skill up in? What are you going to stand up for, be kinder for, and demonstrate more care for yoururself? I love these types of questions because they cause me to be more thoughtful. They cause me to be more intentional about my life. And if we're not thinking about our life in this way, it is really hard to impact our life in any meaningful way. And it makes it even more impossible to affect change, to be inspiring and to be influential in the life of others. And I know that is what you care about. Because if you're listening to this, right? If you're listening to this, it's because I know that you challenge yourself to think different, to be different, so that you can make your impact, so that you can inspire and influence the people that you love in your life. And that is the whole premise of the podcast, becoming more of who it is that you already are, so that you can show up in the world, role modeling love and compassion and hope. It is a responsibility that I know has been put on your heart. And so again, I thank you for being here. I thank you for doing the work. And I was recently asked by a girlfriend who is just a cherished friend of mine. But she asked me, what is it that you do? Like, what do you actually do when you coach? When you talk about personal development and self-improvement, what does that mean? And are they the same thing? And I thought, what a great question. So I thought I would craft out a more thoughtful response for each of you. But basically, what I offered to my friend was kind of like 6 non-negotiables that I do every day as a coach. And they're kind of the things that I would challenge each and every one of you to do every day of your life. So, what do you have to do to evaluate your life as you consider what to do next? So, here are 6 things kind of that happen in the coaching process that I think will help you debrief kind of your last 5 days, your last 5 weeks, your last 5 years. So these are the things that I think can make coaching an extraordinary experience, but really, they're all part of our personal development path. Okay? So let's dive in. So the first one is reflecting on our life, which is kind of what I teased out at the very beginning of the podcast, making sense of it. Where are you? What's working? What's not working? What brings energy? What takes energy? Where do your doubts, where do your fears show up? What negative ranges of emotions and feelings cause you to stay stuck, to try to escape life as opposed to live it out fully? What are your strengths? What are your deliberate habits? What are you really after? Who are you? What's important to you? What are your values? It's really just sense making. It's why I love the reflection questions at the end of the year. Coaching is really just sense making. It's looking at your life with a massive amount of compassion and curiosity, looking for patterns and themes and areas where patterns made sense, where habits either set you up for where you are right now, or they're inviting you to do something different. Sense making asks us to reflect on where we are congruent in what we want out of our life. Are we living with that level of ambition, with that level of focus, with that level of drive, or are we out of alignment with the best of who we are? Right? The best of who we are. I get it. It kind of seems overplayed even when I hear myself say it, and kind of philosophical. But if the point of life is not that, is not being in alignment with the best of who it is that we are, what's the point? If the point of life is not to invite the best of ourselves to the minutes of the day, to love ourselves and others to the best of our ability, to take care of ourselves and others to the best of our ability, to explore our gifts and give them to the world to the best of our abilities. What are we doing? Truly, what are we doing? These big questions of personal development is why I will never be done with personal development, because I will never be done challenging myself, exploring areas where I can ask myself to be more, to love more, to forgive more, to extend grace and patience more, to be a better role model, to leave the best legacy I can possibly leave for the ones that I love. And one way that I think we do that, and it literally is the groundwork for all of the personal development, is this awareness. And sometimes when we try to make sense of our life? Isn't it just awareness? And if we've lost that awareness of where we're at and how we really feel, I believe it's just a function of busyness. We're so busy that we've lost an awareness to our productivity, to our ambition, to our drive, to our dreams. And I think it's because we've lost our focus. And if we are lost and we haven't allowed ourselves to have this awareness, this sense of meaning, this sense of reflecting to what it is that we really think and feel and hope, right? In this stage of our life, I believe that is the first step. That is the first step, is to knowing where we are so that we can navigate where we want to go. So sense making is number one. Number two, when I think about coaching, and when I think about, exploring my own life and what I want for it, is really just meaning making. And I love this part of coaching my clients and my life, helping clients discover and identify what fulfillment looks like in their life, identifying the things that bring real meaning to them, whether that's a sense of joy, a sense of satisfaction, success, real connection with themselves and others. It helps them feel like they're contributing, that they're making a difference. It's always steering the conversation back to meaning in some way or the other. Sometimes later in our life, we forget that part. We strive so hard that we forget that we're not creating meaning, just busy work, not our life's work, because we've forgotten to define what it is that we want for ourselves. So what brought you meaning this last week? What was it? What was important to you? Do you know? Can you take just a minute, a second, to kind of reflect on this past week, this past month? What brought you meaning? And looking into finishing this year strong, how can you make this month meaningful? How can you redefine what the richness of life is, what the generosity is of this season with some intention? That's number two. Number three is identity making. I mean, identity clearly plays a very pivotal role in our personal development journey and our potential. Identity making involves shifting one's self-perception and beliefs to align with the person they want to become. It's a prerequisite, friends, to effective goal setting, because it fundamentally changes the way that we approach our goals. Many people make the mistake of thinking that accomplishing a goal will magically transform them into a different, more capable person. However, as you know, if you've been listening to me for a while, it's the other way around. To achieve a goal, any goal, we must first adopt the identity of the person who can accomplish it. This shift in identity sets the stage for success because it changes how we think, feel, and act. When we identify as someone who is capable, confident, and aligned with our goals, we are way more likely to take consistent action and make choices that support our objectives. It kind of creates this sense of congruence between our self-image and our aspirations. And as a result, our actions become more purposeful and aligned with our desired outcomes. Identity making is about rewiring the neurocircuitry, our beliefs, our self-perception to empower us in our pursuit of our goals. It's such a super powerful tool for personal growth because it reshapes the narrative we tell ourselves about who we are and what we can achieve. And by identifying as the very person that's capable of reaching our goals, we set ourselves up for success and we make our aspirations a reality. So this idea of identity shifting and identity making is critical in the work that I do. And then I went on to tell my friend, right? It's not just about sense making. It's not just about meaning making and redefining and re-exploring topics and concepts and rules and guiding principles for our life. It's not just in identifying who it is that we want to be on purpose, but it's also about goal setting. Goal setting is such a transformative process that follows kind of the essential step of identity making. Because once we've identified as the person that can achieve our goals, we're ready to take massive action towards them. And here's how I was sharing with her that it works. Okay, we know who we need to become, and we know what we need to believe. And when we know that, we are empowered to take decisive and consistent action towards our goals. And this is where goal setting comes into play. It's not just about creating task lists, okay? It's about dreaming big. It's about envisioning a life that goes beyond what seems currently possible. And I want to challenge you, dear listener, to set goals that transcend the ordinary, to reach for something that may seem impossible right now because you have never done it. The power of this kind of goal isn't just in the attainment of it. It's in who you become in the pursuit of it. When you choose a goal with zero proof that you can achieve it, you embark on a journey of self-discovery and transformation. It requires you to tap into a different level of strength, a different level of grit, a different level of focus and tenacity. It pushes you to grow, to evolve, and to expand your limits. And the beauty of setting audacious goals, as I mentioned, isn't solely in reaching them, but in becoming a person who can dare to dream the impossible and can take meaningful steps towards making it a reality. In the pursuit of such goals, you uncover what I believe is your true potential, and you create a life that transcends the ordinary, which is what I believe we all want in our life. Number 5, I think it's about attitude checking, right? If one thing is so clear in all the work I'm doing right now, the people that I work with are struggling with mindset, with their attitude and their company's mindset and attitude. And it's easy to get discouraged when there's so much change. And the truth is, and I'm seeing it on people's faces, I can see the way they hold their shoulders and their face and their expressions. They're struggling. They're in a cultural mindset of crisis. And as soon as I start talking about developing their people, developing them by way of competence and productivity that drives the performance edge, I see my CEOs, I see my entrepreneurs coming back to life. Everyone wants to help their people grow, but too many people have forgotten to invest in that over the last couple of years because they didn't invest in this work of personal development. When you tap into that level of hope, faith, and trust, you'll see your attitudes change. And when your attitude changes, I promise you, the attitude of other people change. And lastly, and because of time, I cut that one short, but relationships. As a coach, I spend a great deal of time navigating the relationships we have with other people. Relationships are a fascinating and transformative aspect of our life. And oftentimes I find that we spend an incredible amount of time thinking about what other people think about us. And if we can just shift into thinking more about what we think about others, we will transcend the expectations that we have on ourselves. I truly believe, and I know I went really fast in all of these, but I want to invite you to consider that these 6 components can be a roadmap for your personal growth and your self-improvement. And by engaging in reflection and finding meaning and shaping an identity and nurturing a positive attitude and building relationships, you can transform not only your own life, but you can contribute positively to the world around you. And I want to end with this invitation. If you've ever thought about becoming a coach, or if you are a coach or a consultant or a leader or a CEO, I want to invite you to our upcoming certification program. I am so excited to launch and announce Quantum Foundations as a shift coach. This system is designed for aspiring coaches, leaders like you to master the art of unblocking human potential, not just your potential, but the potential of the lives of the people that you serve, love, and lead. Through our methodology, this program will equip you with the tools to really delve into the realm of infinite possibilities, to help you leverage mindset strategies and conscious awareness techniques. It's not just about coaching. It's about facilitating a profound transformation in your clients and in yourself to help them tap into their ultimate creative power. So if you are interested in learning more about the Shift certification, we are taking the first 25 and you're getting a significant discount, because we want to reward you for trusting in us and for being kind of the foundational members of this movement. And so click the link in the bio, click the link in the show notes to learn more. And I will personally send you the link. We are super excited about this certification, and we hope that you will at least give it a look. My friends, personal development is a daily practice to transform the way that you live your life. So I appreciate you doing the work with me. And until next time, have an amazing and beautiful day. Take care. Bye-bye.
You have been listening to the Becoming You show with me, your host, Leah Rolling, where I share big ideas to inspire, impact, and influence your life. Tune in every Friday at 11 Central on transformationtalkradio.com for your morning cup of coffee, the hug you never want to end, and that inspirational message that you felt was written just for you. Each show is inspiring you to become you with purpose and intention. For more information or to connect with me, visit www.leahrolling.com.